Okay, so for this how-to guide, we're going to look at how to get an annual multi-trip quote on our Free Spirit website. So once you've clicked to get a quote, this is the page you'll be faced with. It does automatically select the annual option. So if you are wanting a single trip, you can change it, but for this example, we're going to leave it as the annual. It then asks if we're going on a cruise. For this instance, we're going to say no, we're not going to go on a cruise in the next year. And it's then asking for region, so where we're going to go in the next year. So if we're not sure if the country we're going to is in Europe or worldwide, we can press this little information icon here, and it actually tells you which countries are included in Europe and the worldwide, including and excluding. So for this example, we're going to select Europe. Okay, and again, there's a little bit of information here about the Schengen area. And it's then asking about the start date of our policy. So for this is a date we actually want the cover to start. So if we don't start it until next Thursday, we would have no cover in place until that date. For this example, I'm going to select today's date. So if we do take it out, we're covered from today. And we're then onto the traveller details. So again, it automatically selects the individual. But if you do want, a couple's insurance, we can select that. It'll bring up the second adult. Family brings up the 2 adults and a child, for example. But we're going to stick with individual. So to get rid of these, we're just going to press the little bin on the top right corner. There's that one, and there's that one. Okay, and we're then going to just pop in our details. And again, it does also appear down the side here, so you can always double check. Okay, and then the email you have to pop in twice so that we make sure that we get the correct email address. Let's make sure we get this one correct. And then once they are correct, when you click off, that second one will disappear because the system knows that we've got your email address correctly. Okay, and then for the time being, it just asks for the postcode because later on in the process, it'll ask for the full address. And then for the eligibility, so again, make sure you read all of this and we're complying with everything. Okay, so we're going to say that we have read and agreed with those. And it's then asking, so if you have any promotional code, if you've been recommended, you can pop those references in here. And you can also let us know how you heard about us. We've then also got some questions about marketing, so how you would prefer to hear from us. So you can select whichever is appropriate. And then finally, there's one more tick box, which is to confirm you read and agreed with this statement here. So once that's all done, we can then continue and we're then on to the next part of the process.